In this session, we would be starting with Kishan Kumar Singh in just a few seconds. Whenever you are ready, Kishan.
Yeah, I am ready. What's the option to share the entire screen? I'm not able to share my entire screen.
Um, there should be an option.
There are two options, right? There is an option for screen and there is an option for window. So the screen option shares everything.
You may present your window and share your
So is my screen visible right now?
Ayush,
not
also
yet.
note down the name
Yes,
of the
it's
people
visible now.
who are presenting.
Yes, sir.
Ayush, note down the name of the participant who are presenting, okay? And create a list, okay? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
There may
So
be some lag bits or me breaking my sound, so just notify me through messages if something like that occurs.
the
Okay,
your voice
Kishan.
is actually breaking. So is my screen
5
visible? Can you
is
confirm?
allocated.
Kishan,
Yes,
you
your
can
screen
start.
is visible.
Kishan, you can start, please.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. So good evening, everyone. I'm Kishan Kumar Singh. I'm an intern at Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. So I'll be presenting the topic Linux file system. So mostly we'll be focusing on the practicals and all. So let's discuss why usually the industry uses Linux in the mostly widely used is the Linux operating system. Why is it? So you might have noticed that the Windows operating system frequently requires update options. So it is very hectic to update it every time. But just take the example like we skip it to the later part, right? Whenever we see the option for update. So let's assume it is an big organization. So it won't work that way, right? There are many services running and you don't want downtime, right? Downtime directly uh, affects your reputation of the organization, right? So this is why Linux is preferred for its robustness and the security, right? So this is why Linux is mostly used. It doesn't require those options of rebooting and all. So you can uh, skip those options and all, and that is why Linux is preferred. So let's dive into what is Linux file system. So mostly I'll be covering few commands and all. So yeah, just because 5 minutes are allocated. So the first command is cd, that is change current directory. It it allows you to navigate through all the files systems that are available. Like if you want to go into a particular directory, or let's suppose you want to view a file in a particular directory. So as you know, Linux is mostly a command line interface and mostly focused on CLI based. And by CLI based, I mean you have a shell that appears in front of you and you use that to navigate the whole operating system. So the second one is ls, that lists down all the files and directories, right? And next command is the pwd, which tells you the current working directory or the present working directory, it means. So I'll be showing you real quick the demonstration of these commands. So I'm just giving you an overview. I'll be sharing the practical representation too. So next one is the mkdir to make a new directory. Next command is rmdir, that is to delete a directory or remove the particular directory. Next is touch. Touch command is basically to basically used to create a particular file you want, right? So CP is the command used to copy files, and move is the command used to move a particular file. Or that command is also used to rename files. Will be rename files and directories. We can will be seeing that in further presentation. So next is the rm command that deletes the directories and files too. So there is a difference that RMDI is only used for a particular directory, and RM can both be used for a directory as well as for files. So I'll be quickly firing up my Kali Linux operating system and showing you all these commands. So hope the screen is visible.
Yes,
So the
it's
first
visible.
command, uh, just a second. Yeah. So the first command was cd, right? So let's suppose we make a directory, right? Make directory, let's suppose Linux. So we have to list down the directory. We have to check that if we have really made the directory or not. So we will be listing down the directories. So you see the Linux directory over here, right? Already these directories were already made, right? So we have our directory over here. So if we want to go inside this directory, we'll just go to cd and Linux. And just to confirm that we are really inside the directory, we'll use the command pwd that shows us we are really in this directory and the whole path is shown, right? So, and the next command is that we have to make a file inside this directory. So we'll create a file linux.t, linux 123.txt, right? So you can see we have created the file, right? So if you want to write something inside the file, we can either use uh, nano. So this is the file. Inside we can write anything. Hi, this is my first Linux file. We will save this, Control X. Yes. Okay. So just to read inside the file, we use the command cat. So we can see we can read inside this file. So now let's delete everything. So we'll be deleting first the file we created, linux.txt. So we have deleted it. Just okay, sorry. It was Linux 1233, sorry. So Linux 1, 2, 3. So yeah. Now we have deleted it. We don't see it's an empty directory. Just just for a confirmation, we can see ls-a lists down the all the present entities in the particular directory. You see these dot dots represent the hidden files too, right? So it represents all the hidden files to ls-a. You can check everything about a particular command using a command known as man, right? So let's say man ls.
Kishan, 5 minutes
So
are up.
okay, so yeah, this is from my side. Thank you.
Okay, then we will move ahead with the next speaker. He is also one of the team lead, Mr. Sugat. Please.
Good presentation, Kishan. Good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Sugat, please go ahead.
Uh, Sugat, Are you in the session? We would be moving ahead with our third speaker, Mr. Kadidala Rupa. Please. Is Gadidala on the session? The fourth speaker, Mr. Vasu Dedikia.
Hello.
Hello, Vasu. Is this Vasu?
Yes.
Yes, Vasu. Yeah, you may proceed.
Hello. Good
Please.
evening, all.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good evening, all of you.
Uh,
Today I'm representing Linux command and what are command. Some of example of command and why they are used in Linux. So
Also introduce from where are you? Like you are an intern at this center. So just give a brief introduction about you also. Okay. It's just a suggestion to everyone. Okay. So just restart and give your introduction first. Then talk on what topic you are talking. Okay.
hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Ilakya Vasu. I am intern at Cybersecurity Center Studies and Research Center. Today, I am representing a comprehensive guide on Linux file system commands that are available in Will. So, uh, Linux files first. uh, we want to navigate in Linux file system or any other file or any other operating system flavors of operating system of Linux, then we use change directory or list directory command that are already in. So, so this command are helpful to navigate from uh, current directory to previous directory or next directory, or this command is used for uh, they did all listing all files and directories that are available in that are already available in current directory. Next is managing files and directories. How can we create directories and how can we remove them or how can we create files, so that we have mkdir command for creating directories, search command for creating file, and rm command for remove or created file. Also, rm command hyphen sign used for removing created directory, or also RMDIF for removing directory. Next is permission. If we want to give some user permission for particular file, then we use chmod for giving particular read write permission for particular user, or change to ownership, then we use ch on for changing file ownership. Next is we want to manage this, or we want to check users of this. Then we have du command for checking users of this, and disk free df command for disk free, or for disk for usage of for maintaining the file system. Next, we have if we want to send some user large file in Linux, we have a command for zip file and unzip file, that is gzip for unzipping and unzipping that file. Next, next is we if we want to create a backup for particular file or particular directory, then we have cp command for copy that, and rs y and c command for that. next, if we want to work with networking that and we want to manipulate a file with and in network we want to manipulate file in network, then we have mount and non-mount command for manipulating file in network. Next is security. If we want to encrypt some file and accessing that file and integrity some file, then we use some command for that. If we want to boost performance, then we have sync and access file system check command for performance optimization.
I am unable to hear any more sound from Vasu. Okay, so his we will proceed with our next speaker, Mr. Manjit, please.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Yes, Manjit, please.
Yes, sir. So my screen is visible.
Uh, yes, it's visible.
Okay, sir. So good evening, everyone. Myself, Manjit Kumar, and I am intern in Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research Center. So today's presenting, I am Linux file system basics. So now my first slide overview of Linux and its popularity. So Linux introduction is Linux is the operating system. Linux is the operating system that's open source and it's created by Torvalds since 1991. Linux attributes are robust, secure, and flexible. And the Linux key characteristics is open source. Open source, that means freely modifiable and distributable. That security is strong, protection against malware, stability and reliability is ideal for continuous server operations. Flexibility customizable for various user needs, performance efficient resource management for server and desktops. Popularity across domains, server and enterprises solution dominant in web servers, cloud platforms, and enterprises environments. Cloud computing, core infrastructure for major cloud services, and the embedded system and IoT widely used due to lightweight nature and adaptability. Supercomputers are prevent choice for high performance computing and education and research, cost effective and flexible for academic and research purpose. Desktop usage is preferred by developers and tech enthusiastic with user friendly distributions. Mobile and tablets basics for Android operating system, the leading mobile platform. And this slide is presenting understanding file system in Linux. So the introduction of understanding in file system in Linux, file system crucial for organizing, storing and managing data in Linux. That's hierarchy is structured as hierarchical tree with root directory at the top. The key concept of this file metadata. File metadata is includes file attributes like name, size, permission, and timestamps. Then file system types is various types like ext4, xfs, etc, imparting performance and features. Mount points. Mount point is directory is used for accessing storage device content. Access permission is control over read, write, and execute permissions. Utilities are command line tools for file manipulation, navigation, and maintenance. That's integrity is features like generaling ensure data consistency and recovery. And backup and recovery tools like restrained and essential for data protection. Maintenance is periodic tasks like FSCK for error identification and repair. Virtualization is virtual file system like PROC and SYS for kernel and system interaction. That's conclusion is foundation of data management. So foundation of data management is file system are fundamental for efficient data storage and access in Linux. Security and stability is enforce security through permission and insecure system stability. Essential skills are understanding and managing file system are crucial for Linux administration and users. And this slide is presenting types of file system in Linux. So overview are ext4. So ext4 a file system in Linux, default, stable and scalable, support large file and faster checks. And the XFS types of file is for high performance, ideal for large volumes and data intensive apps. We are T apps modern with snapshots, duplication, and RAID RAID evolving. ZFS are features rich, supports compression, snapshot, and RAID. F2FS is optimized for flash storage, improves performance. NILFS is focuses on continuous snapshot for data recovery. uh, Riser FS and Riser 4 as efficient space utilization, small file support. Consideration is that choose based on use case, performance, and features. Factors include scalability, integrity, and available features. So now this slide are presenting
Your
FHS
five
and
minutes
files.
are up, Manjit.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you for your presentation. Now we will proceed with our next speaker, Miss Ashwini Dandu.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes,
Uh,
please share your
bef-
screen and you may proceed whenever
yes,
you are
sir,
ready.
yes. Let me present my screen. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. You may proceed.
Yes, sir, thank you. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir, thank you. Yeah, very good evening, Manado. My name is Dandu. I'm currently working as intern in CFCS 2R, and today I'm here to present a presentation on Linux file systems. Today, a small presentation is I'm going to discuss about introduction to Linux, what is file system, Linux file system evolution, and file system hierarchy, and file permissions and ownerships, and about file system security. And now let's get into the PPT. It's like, what is Linux? Well, Linux is a lovable intellect not using HP.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Yeah.
Excuse me, Ashwini. There is a pop-up. I think you need to click on it. Or
Sir, sorry, sir.
can
You
you
have a
please share
pop-up
your
on the
screen
screen.
and your PPT? There was a pop-up on your screen.
Yes, sir.
Your PPT was not visible.
Now, which screen is visible, sir?
Your screen was visible, but your PPT was not quite visible. There was a pop-up on your screen. Please try again.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, I'll try it. sir, now is it okay? Excuse me, sir.
Yes, now it's visible. Yes, yes, yes.
No,
You
it's
may
okay.
turn it into a full
Yes,
screen
sir.
and proceed.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah, you can start from beginning again.
Yes, sir. No issues. Good evening, one and all. My name is Dandavashmi. I'm currently working as intern in Center for Cybersecurity and Research. And today here I am to present a PPT on Linux file systems. Let's give a overview of today's presentation is like we are going to discuss in this about Linux, what is a file system, Linux file systems evolution and its hierarchy, and what are the file permissions and ownerships the user and the root user will have, and security and how give security for a file and a Linux file system. And next, let's start our PPT by entering into what is Linux. It's Linux is abbreviated as Lovable Intellect, not using HP, and he is the founder. Like Linus Ronald is the founder and who built the Linux. As Linux is the open source operating system which is used for free, and we can able to modify and distribute, and we can use it as a open source for everything. And Linux is used as in the currently in many embedded systems like Android systems like that. And next go for we are going for next system, like what is file system. File, what is meant by a file? In file we can store data, like it may be hierarchical as shown in the figure. So a file system is a structured way of representing the data or organizing files in a storage, such as hard drives or USB flash drives. Here I am going to give an example like how the file system storage will be. If I have a small business, then I am going to divide it into marketing and clients. After that, we are going to perform some operations in marketing and on clients also. After that, we have to store that. We have to, excuse me, sorry. Sorry for the disturbance. Let's continue this. In the marketing strategies, we will have some presentations, trade shows, and after that, we are going to divide it and store it in a format where we can easily understand what is going in a company or in a business or something, where we are going to organize it in a structured format. And this is what the file system is basically. And we are going to next file structure hierarchy. In the Linux file system hierarchy, we'll have like root user, user, and directories, subdirectories like that. We are going to follow this order. Here, the slash intimates that it is a root user. The root user can able to create some files, directories, and use some modifications like that. So here, etc. ECT being div users. These are some directories which are able to created by the admin or the root user. And these are some files which can be created by them and give some permissions to them and access to them like that. This is the Linux file system hierarchy. And after that, we are going to discuss about like how the file system has been evolved. In it is in Linux, they are using different types of file systems. In 1992, they have using etc and etc2 like that, as they basically intended for extended file systems versions 2, 3, 4, and so on. And after that, we have some advancements in that, which is XSF, like BTRIP file systems, ZFS file systems, like flash to flash floppy file systems, and this is the log file systems which has been created in nowadays and being implemented now. And these are the some file extensions used in Linux file systems evolution. And up to 2008, we have used it extended file systems version 4. After that, many advancements came and we are using. Now it is F2FS. Now let's going to we can access a Linux, how we are going to communicate with the Linux. Let's see. We can communicate with the Linux by using these commands like cd, ls, pwd, touch, locate, find, move, like this. In this first cd is for change directory. We can make it able to jump from one directory to the another directory by using this command. And ls is to list the files in the directory. And
Thank you,
pwd is
Ashwini.
the path.
Your 5 minutes are up.
Okay, sir. Thanks for the opportunity.
You,
And sir,
yes, yes.
yes, sir. Thanks for
Now
the
we will move
opportunity
ahead
again.
with our, yes, thank you, Ashwini. Now we will move ahead
Okay, sir.
with our next speaker, Mr. Animesh Pukon. If you are in the session, then please unmute yourself and present your presentation.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, Animesh.
Yes, sir, am I audible?
Please. Yes, you are audible. Please
Thank you.
share your screen.
One minute, sir. Sorry, that is screen. So, is my screen is visible?
Uh, it is visible now. You may proceed.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Animesh Pukon, an intern at Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. So now I will be presenting about Linux file system basics. So actually, I made a quite large presentation, so I will start with Linux file ownership. So, okay. So what is the Linux file ownership? Actually, every file in Linux operating system has an owner and a group associated with the owner. So the owner is usually the user who created that file, and the group is inherited from the user's default group. Okay. So, so there are basically three types of file ownership. One, the user. The user actually, sorry, I made a mistake. This is not the user. This is an owner. The owner who have full control over the file, including read, write, and execute permissions. The owner also can change permissions and ownership of that file. So moving on to the second category, we have group. So the group of a file is, so the group owner represents the group of the user. Sorry. Okay. So here we have the group. So the group owner represents a group of users who have similar permissions on the file. The group owner can have read, write, and executable permission as the owner gives. And we have other users, everyone else who is not the owner of or in the group of the owner is comes under this category other. So this category includes all other users on the system who are not in the file, and they can have permissions which the owner gives to them. So okay, here we'll see how we can change the file ownership. So for changing the file ownership, we can use the command chown, which means change owner. So here you can see the syntax for that command chown, and here we have to write the new owner's name, new owner's user ID, then the file's name for which we want to change the permission. So this is the command for changing the owner, and for changing the group, it is quite similar. Ch group. So ch group have the same syntax. We have to write ch group, then we have to write the group name, and after that we have to write the file name. And moving on to the next slide. So okay, here we have Linux file permissions. So Linux file permissions determine who can perform specific actions that read, write, and execute on a file or directory. So permissions are assigned to three categories of users: the file owner, the group associated with the file, and the others. So here we have the three Linux permissions: file permissions, read, that allows users to view the contents of a file or list of the contents of a directory. And then we have the write permission, which permits users to modify the file or create and delete files within a directory. And after that, we have the execute permission, which grants users permission to execute a file. Then we can run scripts of that or access the content of a directory. So, so here we can see representation of file permission. So file permission are generally represented by 10 character strings, which we can check by using ls. Actually, I have mentioned here. So we can check file permissions using ls-la command, which shows us this 10 character string, where the first character indicates the file type. That can be des for a regular file, or that can be d for a directory. And the next 9 characters are divided into three sets of 3 characters each. And each set represents permissions for the file owner and group and others respectively. So in this picture, we can see here a 10 character string. This first one shows that it is a regular file. And if a D was here, then we will know that this is a directory. So here these first 3 characters shows the file permission for the owner, and the remaining these 3 shows the file permission for the group, and the last 3 shows the file permission for other users. So for changing the file permission, we have these commands: chmod +- permissions, and then
Uh,
file name. So this is the
your
basic
allocated
syntax.
time is up, Animesh.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That's from my side.
Yes, now we
Okay,
will move ahead. Thank you for your presentation again. Yes. Now we will move ahead with our
thanks.
next speaker, Mr. Anand Kumar. If you are in this session, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, Anand, you are audible.
Okay.
Please share your screen.
Yeah, I am doing. Wait for me. Hello.
Yes, you are audible, and your screen is visible. Yes, you may proceed.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Anand Kumar. I am an intern at Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. So, I am going to give a presentation on the topic Linux file system. So, let me start here. So, our agenda for today's presentation is in this presentation, we are going to cover introduction to the Linux file system. Then we are going to move on the second topic, that is file system hierarchy standard. And on the next, we are going to move basic file operation. And after that, we are going to move on advanced file system features. And after that, we'll cover file system management. And then we are going to cover at the last advanced topic. So now let's move to the Linux file system. So before deep dive into this, let me explain a bit about Linux. So everyone knows that Linux is a operating system like every other operating system in the market, like Windows or Mac OS. But what makes Linux different from others? That is security and its reliability. So Linux was basically developed by Linus Torvalds in 1991. And so this is the introduction of the Linux. And let me explain some characteristics of Linux. So as everyone can see that Linux is an open source. So use Linux, we don't have to pay to anyone as it is open source. It has a strong security, it is reliable and gives a strong performance. Even Linux has lots of distribution available in the market, like Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, CentOS, Arch Linux. Many like these are present in the market. Now let me explain about the understanding file system. So every operating system has a file system that helps to manage the device storage, even network configuration, and how to retrieve the file in file movements. All this carry out by the file system only. So every operating system has different file system. Here, if we look at in the Linux, then what we find that it has also a lot of different file system, like here we can see that fourth extended file system. There is three extended file system. There is XFS file.
Anand, you are not audible. Ayush, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are. Anand, you are not
Uh,
audible. Can you please check your mic?
Hello.
Yes, you are
I'm
now audible.
audible now? So shall I start from the beginning or
Uh,
hello?
we can. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
So I was not audible since beginning only.
You may start from the beginning. This time, just keep the settings in mind.
So once confirm, am I audible now?
Yes, 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 you are.
Okay. So let me start from the beginning. So what I'm going to here today, our agenda for this is that we are going to cover introduction to Linux file system, and then we will move to the file system is hierarchy standard. Then we are going to cover basic file operation, and then we will move on standard file system features, file system management, and at the last we are going to cover advanced topic. So now let me start with Linux. So what is Linux? So everyone knows that there is a different type of operating system in the market. Like we can see the Windows is there. Everyone use Windows, and even there is a Mac OS and Linux. So Linux is like other operating system also. But what makes Linux different from other operating system, that it has some special characteristics that makes Linux different and more stable than other operating system. So before that, Linux was actually developed by Linus Torvalds in 1991. So let me move to the another slide and see what are the characteristics of the Linux that makes it different from the other operating system that present in the market. So Linux is basically open source, and it has a strong security. It is stable and reliable. Even it gives more efficient performance. Now let's move to the other slide. Now, so before now we are going to understand about the file system. What is file system? So every operating system has a different file system, which actually guides how files are managed in the system, how they are retrieved, how the movement of the file are done in the system, in the operating system. In the same way, Linux also have a different file system and which evolve from time to time. So if we talk about the current scenario, so there is a most recent and most efficient file system that is being used is fourth extended file system. Apart from this, we have B-tree file system, we have XFS file system, then we have many other file system like ZFS, F2FS, and all these file system have some merit and demerits. On the basis of that, we are using this for the management of the system management of the file inside the Linux. So now we are going to study file system hierarchy standard. So every file, how actually the file are organized inside the Linux. This actually tells about this. So there is a root directory, and every other directory falls inside this. So and if you look at as this figure depicts, that there is a bin directory, there is a boot, there is a dev. So every directory has different work associated with it. So if we see about the boot directory, so what actually, let me boot actually it is associated with the booting of the system whenever we start the Linux. So all the file that helps the system in booting process, that is basically kept inside the boot file here. Similarly, there is a etc file. This is basically associated with the configuration files, like it has our passwords. We can see etc/pass password that contains the password and users details over there. There's a home directory that is associated with users home directory. This contains the data. There is a media that contains the removable media. Like this is the mounted file system that we actually whenever we mount device and all that comes in this. There is a temp file system that contains the temporary file. There is a proc is there, that is a process and information contains in this. Now we are going to see some of the commands that in Linux. For this, I'm going to start my Linux system to explain this. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Anand, you are audible.
Is my Linux system visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. So let me show you first. So everyone must, I guess, everyone is familiar with print command. So in the same way, in Linux we have an echo command is there. Let me show what echo does. Echo does same work as print does. Actually, it prints the data. Like if we say echo hello, so it what will do, it will print it will give output as hello. So this is what echo does. So if we want to create a file or any file, then how we are going to create file in Linux? So for that we have a touch command. So with touch we actually create. Before that, let me create a directory under that I'm going to perform every command. So for that, I have already created a directory with like cfc, yeah. In this directory, is it? Let me make a directory here. This is how we make a directory with mkdir command with the name cfs. Now we are going to change this directory. Now I'm inside this directory. So here only I have shown some of the command. With echo we are printing the output. With mkdir, whenever we need to create a directory, we create with using
Mr.
mkdir.
Anand,
Hello?
your 5 minutes are up.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Thank you,
Am I
thank you
audible?
for
Yes.
this. Thank.
Yes. Thank you for your
Yeah, yeah.
presentation. Now we will
Thank you.
move ahead with Dashrath, but he has reported sick for this session and is not able to present his presentation. So we will move one more ahead and let's welcome Nandini Seth. Miss Nandini, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Please share your
Uh,
screen.
yeah. Good evening. My name is Nandini Seth and I am currently intern at Center for Cybersecurity Study and Research. So today my PPT is upon introduction to the Linux file system. Starting with the PPT, let us introduce what is Linux file system. The Linux file system is the foundation upon which the entire operating system is built. So it provides a structured way to organize and manage files and directories, also allowing the users and programs to interact with data in a seamless and efficient manner. Now, to understand this file system hierarchy navigation, it is crucial for any Linux user, whether they are new to the platform or experienced power user, to go through what exactly happens in this Linux file system. Starting with the root directory, it is the first and most primary root directory in the whole operating system, and it is denoted by the forward slash, as you can see in the PPT. It serves as the starting point for all other directories and files and contains all essential system directories and files. The second that comes are the home directories. Now these are the personal folders which user creates to store their files and settings. And as you know, in Linux is a very user friendly operating system, so these can be updated according to users needs, but these directories cannot be updated to Windows and Mac operating system. Next is the system directories. Now stores which stores essential system files and programs required for Linux to function. These directories are absolute directories which have like important files and programs or bash script, you can say, which are important for Linux to function. It is better for a new user or guided to not touch such files, as this may, corrupt the whole system or provide an additional damage to the whole operating system. Now, further navigating to the file system, here are some commands that are used as a beginner. First is pwd command. Now, this pwd command has a full form of print working directory, which allows the user to determine their current location within the file system hierarchy. So, wherever your file is located, it helps to print the exact current location of your file in the whole operating system. The second command is this cd command. Now the cd in this word stands for change directory, which enables users to navigate to different directories, either by specifying, you can specify your absolute or your relative path. Now your next command is your ls command, which displays the contents of the directory. For example, you might have typed pwd cd. So if you want to know the previous commands that have been typed or the previous commands that have been used, you can use this ls command to list down all the previous commands, and it will exactly display all the previous commands which have been typed by the particular user. Now working with the directories. Now let us first see creating directory. The mkdir command, that stands for make directory command, allows the user to create new directories within the file system hierarchy. Now this is essential for organizing files and data in a structured manner, so that user can easily find their located files which are there in the operating system. Next is the deleting directories. The rmdir command removes empty directories. So rmdir stands for remove directory. We can locate the full form of these commands, or these commands can be easily remembered by remembering their full names. For example, rmdir has an example of remove directory. Now this is used to delete the empty directories, while there is one addition in this command, that is rm/r, -r. This can be used to delete a directory and its contents both. So the third that we are going to see is the navigating through directories. As mentioned in the previous section, the cd command is used to navigate between the directories, both absolute and relative, but this is fundamental skill for effectively managing the file system. So moving on further slide. Now let us understand the file types. First comes the regular files. Regular files are the most common type of files in the Linux file system. They can contain various types of data such as text, images,
Miss Nandini,
videos, or yes, sir.
your 5 minutes are up. Thank you for your presentation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We will move ahead with our. If you are on the session, then please.
Hello, sir.
Breaking. So can you repeat the name again?
Yeah, Ayush, who is
Yes,
the
you are
last
audible.
speaker?
Hello.
Who is the last speaker? Sorry to interrupt.
Sir, the last speaker would be Frederick K. Ogutu,
No, the
Mr.
last
Frederick.
person who is speaking right now.
Oh, yeah. This one was Nandini Seth. Miss
Yeah. So
Nandini.
Nandini, just complete your presentation.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please. Ayush, just
Okay,
allow
okay.
him to complete the presentation. No? Yeah, please.
Yes,
After
sir.
that, we can take next
Nandini,
one.
you
No?
can like.
Yeah,
Start.
yeah,
Yes,
sure.
yes, sir. Sure, sir.
So
Sorry for
should
the
I
interruption,
continue
Sony. Yes, Nandini, you may continue.
from where I had left, right?
Yes, yes, yes. From where you had left.
So working with directories. So as I was saying, you can mkdir command to create new directories. Also, you can delete those directories. You can using rmdir, that is remove directories, and navigating through these directories is another function that you can perform with the directories. Now, understanding these file types. Now, there are three specific file types inside this Linux. First is the regular files. They can contain like various types of data, text, images, or executable programs. The second are your directories. Now, as discussed earlier, these are special type of file that serve as containers for other files and subdirectories, allowing a hierarchical organization of the file system. Then comes the special files, devices, sockets, and other system level files, like which are pre-programmed and are advised not to touch for any beginner so that these do not corrupt the system. Now, the next is the file permission. Now, there are three specific types of permissions, which are user, group, and others. For coming to the group, Linux uses a robust permission system to control access to files and directories. Now, each file and directory has three types of permission: read, write, and execute, which can be assigned to the file owner. For example, the user and group and others, all three have all the permission, but depending only specific type of read files only are granted to user, whereas specific type of group permissions are given to a group, and others, maybe the root user may have all the permissions. It depends solely and wholly upon the root user what type of permission it gives to its user, its group, or others working in an organization. Now, copy managing. So the cp command allows users to create duplicates of files either within the same directory or across different directories. Move. The mv command can be used to relocate files and directories within the file system, either by changing their location or by renaming them. Now, other uh, management is delete, whereas the rm command is used to delete file, while the rmdir command can be used to remove empty directories. Now, rename is used for changing the name of the existing file and directories. So, conclusion. So, the key takeaways are the Linux file system hierarchy and navigation. Further learning, there are more tutorials, books, and community forums like CFC2CR, which are available for learning about the Linux resources. Also, practice is an essential key. So, practice makes it more important to understand Linux. Otherwise, it would not be worth to go on with the learning of this operating system. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Nandini. Mr. Sony Dhruv.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You may share your
Yeah.
screen.
Wait a minute. Is my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible. You may
Yeah.
proceed.
Okay. Hello, friend. Hello, everyone. My name is Dhruv Soni, and I am an intern in CFC 2R. And I am present my topic today is a Linux file system basics. And in this overview of the Linux, we are main are the Linux is an open source OS that anyone can build by Linux Torvald in 1991. Can anyone? Sorry, sir.
క్లాస్ లో
Yeah.
మనకేం యాక్సెస్ ఉండే జస్ట్ బుద్ధన వేసుకోవాలి
ఏంట్రా అంటే ఏం చేస్తున్నారా నువ్వు?
లైనక్స్ బేసిస్ లైనక్స్ సిస్టమ్ తెలుసా అన్న
Mr. Soni,
Yes.
yes. Just try that there are no more interruptions.
Okay, sir. Linux is a open source OS built by the Linux in 1991, popular in servers, cloud, and IoT. Key characters.
పర్సనల్ సార్
మాకు పర్సనల్స్ ఉంటుంది.
ఇంతల్లో ఉందంట పోతారు డ్యూటీ మా
ఏం డ్యూటీ?
ఇంటర్న్షిప్ వచ్చారు ఇంటర్న్షిప్ డ్యూటీ కావాలి పైసలు అయితే ఇస్తాడు కదా ఇస్తాడు
Mr. Soni,
Yes, sir. I
I
am
would
not,
have to proceed with the next participant if this keeps happening.
Sir, is someone else is talking about the? I am not. I am in a student environment.
Oh, so this noise is not from your side. Please, anyone else,
No.
just unmute yourself. Sorry, mute yourself. Yes, 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 Sony, you may proceed. My apologies.
There are three main characteristics of the Linux is a open source. Linux is a open source means anyone can get the source code of the Linux and change it if he then security is Linux is a security strong malware resistant because there are some of the some files can be not run in Linux. So Linux is a secure OS. Performance is a better than other OS like a Mac OS or a Windows OS. File system hierarchy and the hierarchy is a key structure with a root directory. And metadata is a file details like a permission, timestamps, names, and any other. Common file system name is ext4. ext4 extended is the default file system. And next slide. Introduction to the file system, file hierarchy system, and key directories. File system means main directory of the Linux is a root directory. Then all of the directory are coming like a bin directory. Bin directory is for the store user command like ls and other. And the boot directory is a static files on the bootloader. Dev directory is a device files. etc directory is a host specified system configuration. Home directory is a user or anyone user's home directory. Lib directory is, contains essential shared libraries and kernel modules. Media directory is used for mount devices. MNT directory is a mount point for the temporary mounted file system. OPT directory is a add-on application software packages. SBIN directory is also known as system binaries. SRV directory is data for a service provided by the system. Temporary directory is known as temporary directory files. We can show temporary files over there. USR directory is user utilities and applications. secondary hierarchy. We are directory is for the variable files, and the root directory is a home directory for the root user. Prop directory is for virtual file system and documenting kernel and process status as the text file. Okay. There are file system and navigation commands are here. We can start it from the file operation. File operation for the file operation, mkdir is the command for the make directory. Like we are commanding mkdir. I will show you the practical mkdir djs, then ls. DJS folder is directory is created by me. Then remove directory mkdir rmdir for the remove empty directory, and rmdir-r remove directory with all contents. Touch directory is a create empty file like I will touch and text. Then it create a empty directory named by test. Navigation command cd means change directory. We can change the directory via the cd command. I am going to DJS. I am in a DJS command, DGS directory. Then list ls command means list directory or files with ls ls. Then we are all the files and directory are listed over the made by that. PWD is a print current directory. Means I am where I am working. It's show me that where I am working now. Advanced option like cp command, me command. Cp means copy command. Copy is a cp means cp test. Then djs. We can it's a permission issue. We can copy the file.
Mr. Soni. Thank you for your presentation. Now I would like to invite Miss Ria to moderate the session onwards. Please, Miss Ria.
Okay, hi. So next is Rohit Roy. Rohit, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, so please present.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. Hello. Ma'am, my screen is visible, right?
Yes, you're audible and your screen is visible. You may proceed.
Okay, ma'am. So first of all, myself, Rohit Roy, and I'm currently a cybersecurity intern in Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. And today I'm going to present on the topic of Linux file system. So basically, the definition of file system is a file system is a method which is used by the operating systems to store and retrieve and also organize the files. Like in a Linux, we provide a structure for data storage and also to ensuring that the management and also the access is efficient. And basically in Linux, the file systems are integral to the operating systems because the framework and also the framework for organizing and accessing the data are in the separation of data files and directories, and also facilitating the efficient data management and retrieval. And the basic key components of file systems are like it is important to like in the directories and also in the file types because understanding these components is crucial for comprehending the organization or any data storage of a Linux environment. And the hierarchy of a Linux file system is that it follows a reputed structure, because starting with the root directory and also branching into various subdirectories, the organizations allows for efficient storage and also the retrieval of data. And the components of the hierarchical structure of a file system is that there are files, links, and devices, because each component plays a crucial role in organizing and managing data within any system. Because because here also the key concepts are. Hello, sorry for the disturbance. Can I continue now? Hello.
Yes, yes, you can continue.
Actually, yeah, I was there that the key concept of the Linux file system hierarchical structure are the same as the superblocks and also the inodes and the mount points, which are integral. Because to understand the structure and the function of the Linux file systems, this type of key components are very crucial for this. And coming to the different types of Linux file systems, there are three different types of file systems, and many more are there. So in this presentation, I'm going to present three different file systems, which are XFS, which is handling the large files and also high performance workloads, because it provides the scalability, metadata journaling, and also robust the handling of the current or the concurrent read and the write operations. And the extended for ext4, which is a default file system for many Linux distributions, because it's known as for the reliability and also for the performance, and it supports the large file systems and also implements journaling for the data integrity. And BTRFS, which is a modern file system which is currently used by many organizations, and it is featured as a snapshot and also for data integrity and efficient storage utilization through copy on write and transport the transparent the compression. And coming to the permissions of the file system, basically focusing on the ownership, the Linux file system permissions are based on ownership only, because where users and groups are associated with specific files and also in the directories, because understanding ownership is crucial for access control. And coming to the modes, the permissions are set using modes like including read, write, and execute the permissions for the owner group and other type of directories or in the files. And the granular control ensures the data security and the privacy. And the access control, like the ACL, which is the access control list, and the permissions attributes the fine grained control over the file access, because ensuring that sensitive data remains protected from the unauthorized users. The file system management, maintenance, and the management are basically divided into three parts, which are disk management, monitoring tools, and also the best practices which are done by the big organizations. The disk management is it's a effective part of a Linux file system, because these activities such as partitioning, formatting, and also managing the file system types to optimize storage and also allocation and the storage diverse data requirements. Because after that step of the disk management, the monitoring tools which are utilizing the monitor, which is used by the monitoring tools such as which is smart, which is self monitoring, analyzing, and also reporting technology. And the disk uses analyzers uses this because it helps in their proactive maintenance and also identification of the potential issues which are faced by the file systems. And the best practices which are done by the organization experts, or we can say the users of Linux, are to adopting the best practices for file system maintenance, including the regular backups, data integrity checks, and also software updates, because it is crucial for sustained system performance and data reliability.
Okay, Rohit, your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, next is Pasala Abhilash. Are you there?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah, so please present.
So I'll start my presentation.
Yeah.
So, hello, interns and uh, organizer. Myself, Alphonse Abhilash from cybersecurity from Hyderabad. I'm currently working as an intern at CFC S2R. So today is my presentation about file commands and basic file commands in a Kali Linux operating system. So generally we know about a Kali Linux operating system as we are doing a internship in a CFC S2R. Kali Linux is an open source operating system, uh, which is a command line interface. So in this operating system, we have a lot of tools and we have a lot of commands to be executed. So what makes difference is we have a lot of commands and shortcuts, so that we can use those things and we can directly dive into the things we want very easily. So it makes very flexible. So directly diving into the topic without wasting any time, since we have only 5 minutes to complete the presentation. So coming to the basic file commands, there's nothing but PWD. PWD mean that it shows that at which directory we are working at. So if we type a PWD at in the terminal, it shows the current working directory. And next command is nothing but ls, which shows the list of files which are present in that current directory. And then the third command is nothing but a cd, which changes the directory into the specific path or specific directory, which uses some URL or a basic name of the directory. And then we will be having some file commands in order to edit or create files. So they are nothing but a touch and which is used to create an empty file, and we can write in the into the that created file using nano command. And mkdir is nothing but is used to create a new directory, and rm is used to remove a file or a directory. And then you, in order to edit or view the contents in the which are present in the file, we'll be using four commands, basic commands. So they're nothing but cat is nothing but it shows the displays the contents which are present in that file. So I'll be executing all these commands in the coming session in next slide. And then less, it shows the less command, it shows one page at a time itself. And then tail, it shows only few lines of a first page and last page. And nano command is which is used to edit the content which is presenting in that file. So I'll just dive into the Linux operating system. So this is Linux operating system. And if we open the terminal, so in order to save the time, I've already created a file. So I'll just open the list of the files, and we'll dive into the documents directory. And as you can see, example is the text file which I have created before itself. Let's try to extract the text, content from that file. So we'll be using cat file command to extract the content from that file. So as you can see, the content which is written in that example file is nothing but hello, this is Alphonse Abhilash from Hyderabad, working as an intern at CFC S2R. Now we'll be using a nano command which to edit this content. So nano, sorry, nano. This is the nano editor interface. Here we can edit this content. So I'll just write thank you here. And if we press Control X, it is automatically saves. I mean, Control S and Control X, it automatically saves. And just a minute. And pressing Y, it will save it. So we'll just close this. Again, we'll dive into the documents directory. And so as you can see, this is the content which is present in that file. And from the next slide, Mr. Madan Raj, my colleague, will continue the presentation. Mr. Madan Raj, take the presentation.
Hello,
Yes.
hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please
Yeah,
continue.
I am Madan Raj from Telangana, Hyderabad. I'm going to present the continuation of the recent PPT.
Yeah, sure. Please present.
Just a second, I am connecting the resource. Okay. Here we can see some commands which are used to for copying some data in a directory or a file or moving a directory from one location to another location. The first command commonly we use CP. CP means copy. Whenever we want to copy some data or the code in a directory to another directory, we use copy command. And next command is move. Whenever we copy some data from the directory, we use move command to move to the specific location. So it gets easy to use the codes and files. And next command is lsla, which shows the permissions of a file or directory. Each file contains some permissions like read, write, execute. So this command shows us the which permissions it contains. And next, these are the commands which use it to search some file or specific directory from any location. Find is a command. We have to give some arguments like name of the directory or a size of the directory. So it will find those files and shows us to operate. And grep is another command which filters some specific words or characters or strings to search. And location another command which shows us the location of the directory and file, and which is a directory which command executes the file on the system. And going to next slide, file permissions and ownership. Every file, each file contains some permissions, ownerships. Ownership is the root user who controls the operating system, and permissions are example read, write, and execute. Each file contains these execution permissions which will be given from the owner's access. Chmod is a command which used to change the permissions of a directory, and chown and another command which change the ownership of a directory. I'm going to show these commands in Linux. Hello, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Now I'm on Linux. Here we can see list of directories. Whenever we give LA, it shows its permissions. Like here we can see dr rw.
Sorry for the interruption. Your Linux screen is not visible. Only your presentation is visible.
Okay, I'm gonna set it. Okay, sir, now is it visible?
Yes, yes, yes. It's visible now.
So I'm going to show from again. Here we can see the list of directories. Whenever we give LA, it shows the permissions of the directories. R, R it means read. Just it has permission to read, and write it mentions shows that only write permission. We can change these permissions. Like if we take desktop, it has only read, write, and execution per user only, not for group. So we're gonna change those permissions. We use the command chmod. We use g plus rwx. R it means, as I said, read. W means write. X means execution. And also we give permission to the others. Read, write, and execution permissions for documents. We have to mention the document directory or the file name to change the permission. Here the permissions are changed. As we can see, the directory's permission have been changed. It has full access from the owner Raj and Raj. These are the commands which are used to change the
Okay, your
permission and
time is
execute.
up. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Madan Raj, your
Ma'am.
time is up.
Thank you.
Yes. Now Lawrence Jobo. Are you there? Okay, so moving forward, Mohammed Zafar, are you there? Again, Mohammed Zafar, are you there? I guess he's not there either. Avash Devkota.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, ma'am, I am
So are you ready
available.
for the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please present.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Hi everyone, it's me Avas Devkota from Nepal, currently working as an intern at Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. Today I am going to give you a quick overview of the Linux file system. It's the foundation for organizing and managing all your files and data on a Linux system. I believe we all are quite familiar with the topic, so we have time limit, so I would like to directly go to the main ideas. First of all, let's go through some key concepts. File and directory hierarchy. It is a tree-like structure with the root directory at the top, and file metadata refers to the information associated with the files. File system types are the different types of file, such as ext4 xfs file system, and mount point is the place where the access point for the storage devices. File access permission is the permission that is given to the file for control. File system utilities are the essential commands for file manipulation, and file system integrity refers to the mechanism like journaling to ensure the data consistency. File system backup and recovery. It is important for data protection and recovery. File system maintenance, it is the checking and repairing the file system errors. Moving through the common file systems, we have commonly ext4, xfs, btrfs format. ext4 is the default and most widely used format, whereas xfs is used mainly for large file and storage volumes. BTRFS is a modern file system with advanced features like duplication and snapshots, which is good for data management. Other formats include ZFS, which is not native to Linux. F2FS is the format that is optimized for SSD, and the format is chosen according to the performance need and desire for our own. Moving to the next slide, we have the file system hierarchy standard FHS. FHS is a set of guidelines that defines the structure and organization of directories in a Linux or Unix-like operating system. You can see the hierarchy here of a Linux file system. This is a screenshot of my own PC where here is a root directory and other directories are listed here. Going through each of the file directory, this first one represents the root directory. I think we have time limits, so I would like to go through the key directories only. The root directory contains it is the top level directory and the starting point of the directory. The home directory usually contains the user files. The bin directory contains the essential commands. It contains the commands that we enter in our terminal, such as ls, cd. The etc/etc directory contains the configuration files. Var contains the log files and the variable data, and temp file contains the temporary files that are created during the execution of certain programs or certain files, certain softwares. Moving to the next slide, we have file system navigation. How do we navigate to our files? Simply, some of the commands are used from in the terminal. The commands for file system navigation are cd to change the directory. ls command is used for listing the files. pwd commands print the working directory of the current location. mkdir commands is used to make the directory. It creates a new folder or the new directory in the current location. rmdir removes the specific directory that is mentioned. Toss command is used to create an empty file. These all commands are used with different options so that like we can use the command ls like l so that we can get a long format, and ls-a command gives us all the files within the along with the hidden files. Going through the next slide, file manipulation. How we manipulate our file. Cp command is used for copying the files, that is creating a duplicate of a file. mb command is used to move or rename the file. mb command, the command itself is used to move the file as well as it is used in order to rename the file. rm command is used to remove the file, delete the file, and we have to be concerned while using this rm command because it can accidentally delete the data which we do not actually want to delete. Find command is used to source the data. Going to the next slide, creating and deleting a file. How we create our file? We simply create our file by using the torch command, and we can write into the file by using echo command using a direction arrow, and this can be done through the terminal using text editors like Nano and Beam. Creating and deleting file. Deleting, how can we delete the files that we have created? We can simply delete the file using the rm command. Rm command is used to delete the file, and similarly onlink command is also used to delete the file. This command deletes the single file only. File permission and ownership. Talking about the file permission and ownership, there are different categories, permissions and ownership in the file. File permission controls who can read, write, and execute the file directories. Basically, we have read, write, execute, and denied permissions. And we have the categories of owners are the users, groups, and the others. Permission can be set with two different methods or two different notations, that is symbolic and octal notations. Here is given the symbolic notations, and the example for symbolic notation can be seen here. Plus x file.txt, it adds the execute permission in the file. Octal notation is, in my opinion, octal notation is much more convenient because it uses the octal form.
Your time is up.
I think last slide is remaining, ma'am.
Okay, just go through it really fast.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Searching file, we can search the file through using find, locate, which or where is command, and grep command. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so now Renali Chavan, are you there? Pranali Chavan. I guess she. Bhuvneshwari Ilangovan, are you there? Not there, no. Nayana Sangvikar.
Yes, I'm here.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
Naina Sangvikar. Can I start?
Okay. Yeah, you start. Chandrakant will take your session after Nayana. Nayana, start.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Done.
Yeah, let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it
Is
is
it visible? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Uh, yeah, so my name is Naina Sangvikar. I am a student of intern of Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. Along with that, I am working as a data analyst professional. I am very eager to learn this cybersecurity. Thus, I have joined this internship program. I am very happy to share my first Linux file system basic presentation. And I am not a pro in the Linux system, but whatever I learned, whatever I understand in this in between this 7 to 8 days, I will try to explain that to all of you. So let me start with this. Linux is a free operational system. It is an open source system. It is very similar to the Windows or Mac OS that we can install on our computers, laptops. Whatever the instructions we have provided for installing the Kali Linux, I have or all of you must have downloaded and installed it on your system. The file system in the Linux is the method that used to organize, store, and retrieve data on the storage devices like hard drives, SSDs. These are acting as a librarian. According to me, this is a very big library Linux has, and it keeps track where all of the files are located, and we are using that very efficiently. And how we can access that efficiently, that is the file system. This is very crucial part of the Linux system. Linux system is nothing without the file system, according to my understanding. This is the architecture of file system. Here the user application is there. After that, logical file system. So logical file system is represent how user views and interact with the files. So these here we can create, delete, rename the file directories. Also we can facilitate operations such as opening, reading, and closing of the files in this logical file system. After that, the physical system is there, physical file system. In between, virtual file system is there. First of all, I will tell you physical file system. So it refers to the actual layout of data on the storage devices. This the operating system keeps track where each file is stored on the disk. So this is here, and we are dividing it to the partitions wherever the file location is saved. Some files may go to the partition 1 according to the decisions done by the virtual file system. This is a crucial layer that enables the operations of multiple instances of physical live system. So that is the architecture file for file structure. The file structure is nothing but, as I told you, this is a work as a digital library, keeping everything organized and retrievable. So wherever necessary, we can get the files from this. So Linux file system has mainly network file system, disk file systems. Network file systems are physically somewhere else. Physically they are at some other place, but it appears as they are on a computer. Also the disk file systems are which files they are find on the physical devices such as hard drive, etc. So these are few file systems for Linux. Linux directory structure. So Linux directory structure involves the root file structure. So this is the topmost directory in the hierarchy, All other directories and files are beneath of this root directory, as we can see in this diagram. First is the root directory. Here the only root user has a privilege that we can write something into the directories. Then bin directory is there. This is the binary executable directory. This contains essential executable programs, commands that used frequently, binary commands. Then sbin is nothing but the system binaries. It is the same as a bin directory, and it is used by system administrator and for the system maintenance purpose. These are the few examples for bin, yes, bin, etc. Then etc, that is the configuration file. This contains a wide configuration files such as network setting, user account, application configuration, such files. Device files, this contains device files, and these are the files which represent physical hardware devices like hard drive, printer, network interface. Process information, proc, is the virtual file that provide information about running processes and system kernel. Variable files are also stores variable data that modified during system operations, such as logs, caches, and spool directories. Temp file is nothing but temporary file. It created by system and users. It typically deleted during the reboot operations. Few are there. User operation, user program. This is the personal files we can save here. Bootloader files. So these are contains bootloader related files. This stores essential for boot processes, including the core of operating system. Then lib file, this contains library functions for bin, as bin. This file name may be ld and lib. Optional add-on application, that is opt, is the file that stores file for optional software packages. And MNT, that is mount directory. It is a general mount point for temporary mounted files. Along with that, some more common Linux commands we have that in our directory, that is navigation commands, pwd, that is used for printing full path of the current directory. Then cd, change directory. Listing of directories also involve ls. Then that can list current directories. I will show this on
Thank you,
my
Nayana. Your
Linux.
time. Yeah. So, Chandrakant,
Okay,
are you ready? Actually,
yeah, I
your
will
time
just.
is.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, please present, Chandrakant.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Is you audible?
Ma'am, my presentation is showing.
Yeah, it's visible.
Ma'am, first of all, I'm Chandrakant Sahu from Madhya Pradesh, India. Today I'm giving presentation on what is Linux. So Linux is just a simple thing. It's a operating system. It is a interface between hardware application, hardware and hardware user application and hardware. It's enable us to do our activities in some in any hardware. It is used in every switch, router, IoTs even, and there are so many types of operating system like Windows, Linux, iOS, Android. These all are operating systems, and one of these are Linux. So Linux is a free and open source operating system. The Linux operating system is derived from the Unix OS. The Unix OS was created in 1960s by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson. Both of them also invented the C programming language. Linux was name of the kernel created in 1991 by Linux
torvalds. There are, as I told earlier, there are so many distributions of Linux. These are few. Desktop Linux are Ubuntu, Fedora, and all. Server Linux, Red Hat, Debian, CentOS. Embedded Linux are Raspberry, iOS, Yocto, and there are so many others also. Yeah, you can see in this PPT. So many distributions of Linux are there. These all are used in different purposes. As of now, one Kali Linux is most popular for.
Chandrakant, only your first slide is showing. Your presentation is
Sorry,
not
ma'am?
showing. Only your
Not
first
showing?
slide is visible. Your presentation is not showing.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Now, ma'am?
Change slides.
Now is it visible, ma'am?
No, we can just see the second slide.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yeah, just show it like this only.
Okay, done. So, so Linux have many distribution system. There you can see in slide. One of Kali Linux is most popular nowadays for most popular nowadays for cyber security and even red teaming and blue teaming also. Next is Linux versus Windows. Both are very common nowadays and most popular and used by so many people. So Windows typically uses FAT32 or NTFS file system, and Linux is using ext2 and ext3 file systems. Windows list all drives separately, like A, B, C, D drives. And with my computer, if you'll go to my computer and you can see all the drives. And Unix starts with slant, and the Linux file system is hierarchical directory structure. Structure resembles an upside down tree. Directories are collections of files and other directories. The structure is recursive with many levels. Recursive with many levels means it is automatically just like repair. It calls older version when get any error or anything, any bad thing happens with file. And every directory has parent except for root directory. Many directories have children directories also. Unlike Windows, the multiple drive and multiple file system on Unix as one file system only. The Linux standard base LSB specifies the structure of Linux file system. And you can see in slide, there are so many file systems we can use. First is main is root, then under root bin. Bin is for essential for binaries. Static files or bootloaders are boot. etc host is specified system configuration. OPT for configuration file for add-on application softwares. USR for shareable read-only data. And inside USR, you can see local, share, man, bin, include, lib, and sbin. Same as VAR, variable data files. It contains variable data files. Inside this, you can see cache, lib, YP, lock, opt, run, temporary. All are these are hierarchical file system, and these are very essential for Linux file system, and it stores our data, or we can say our files and
Okay.
directory in a structured manner. Then the
Okay,
list
Chandrakant.
command is sorry,
Chandrakant, your
ma'am.
time is up. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am. But two slides are remaining.
It's okay. We'll have a presentation in the end anyway.
Done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so Pirzada Mohammed Sameem Magdu. Pirzada Mohammed Sameem Magdumi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, ma'am. Just a second, I'll share my PPT.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is my presentation visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hi, this is Sameem Magdoumi. I'm currently an intern at Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research organization. So today I'll be presenting a presentation on Linux file system basics. So first of all, let's talk about file system. As we all know, file system is simply a structure or a way of storing and managing files. So it's a structured manner that operating system stores documents and information, digital informations in an in a computer system. So for an operating system, the tasks like creating, deleting, and modifying files and directories is easy. So thus a user is efficiently able to create and delete all these files and directories. So let's talk about Linux. As we all know, all operating systems have file structures and file systems. So the way files are stored in an operating system is known as file structure or file system. In Linux, we don't call folders, we call them directories. So thus, we also call the file system as directory structure, as it's a structure in which all the directories are arranged in a Linux system. So thus, as we can see in the right side, this is the hierarchical form of Linux structure, Linux file system or directory structure. It starts with root directory, and all these like bin, boot, opt, these are all subdirectories of this root. So thus all these directories are managed and organized in an hierarchical form. Also, we can call it as a tree structure. So thus it all starts from a root and all the way to the files. So let's talk about files, file types, and extensions. Linux supports a wide variety of file types. As we all know, we deal with a lot of file types, as we deal with pictures. Pictures can be JPG or PNG. We deal with media players and media files, MP3, MP4 files. So Linux all supports all these executable files, that is JPG or MP3. So also Linux also supports file types that are not specified the extensions, that we also call them as executable files. In other form, we also call them as binaries in Linux, as direct executable in Linux are also known as direct binaries. These file types are all these file types are permissible and available in this Linux. And let's talk about file permissions in Linux operating system. When we try to check Linux, if we just run a command ls/la, that is listing all files in the particular directory, and la for listing all the additional information of these files or anything what we have in that particular directory. So if we see in this right side in this screenshot, we see first is D, that is specifying a file type. That means it is a directory. These permissions are of a particular directory. These three are of a particular user. What these three are? It is simply R represents read, W represents write, and X represents a executable permission of a particular user. If all these three are present, so that particular user from which I am using that, I'm waiving that permissions, all these things that that means simply I am able to read that file, write to that file, and execute to that particular file or directory. Simply, second one is group, and second one and the last three is for other. Thus, this classifies the permissions of files in Linux. After that, if we see how to navigate in a file system, as we know, as we have seen about the file structure, file permissions, and if you can see below in this screenshot, if it's visible, so I'm just using a command ls for listing all the files in that directory, in that particular directory, that is slash is root directory. And if we just see here, if we use cd for change directory, and if we want to just change to the particular directory, we use cd command. That means change directory. So we specify a particular location of a directory or a file, and we cannot just move to the file. We just can change directory to a directory only. So thus cd command, and after that we specify a path, and it can be a relative path, like I have mentioned here, home/kali. That is a relative path, like it's specifying from the root directory, the first slash home, after that kali subdirectory, after that is a slash. So it specifies that I am going to that particular directory that's inside home, inside kali. So we can also do for example
Okay,
is
Peter,
in this. Yes, ma'am.
your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. So now our team lead, Jose Orlando, is going to present. Everybody is requested to turn on the cameras as we'll post this on LinkedIn.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, let me share my screen, okay? Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually an impromptu presentation requested by the community admin. I'm not actually prepared right now, but I will present to the best of my ability my learnings from the Linux file systems basic course. So you have here, okay, this is a command that is used to check and repair a Linux file system. It's called fsck. For those who are familiar with Windows, you may know that this is very similar to the check disk command, the chkdsk command. So the only difference being that when
Excuse me. I
execute
guess
this
your
command,
presentation is not visible, I guess.
oh, okay. When you need to execute this command, you need to uh, put a sudo before the fsck. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. It's not a presentation,
Okay.
it's a preview. That's why.
It's not a presentation, it's not a PowerPoint presentation, it's just a PDF file. Okay. So I won't try to fix, okay, let me try to fix my, okay, hold on. So let me show you how to do a file check on Linux, because you might need to do that on your file systems later on. So let me open up my terminal, and then fsck without the sudo. Let me go back again to that. Hold on. Hold on. So fsck/home. fsck/home. And it says the superblock could not be read or does not describe a valid file system. So let's try another file system. Documents. So let's try fsck/document.
Jose, kindly share your screen again.
You can't see the screen? There. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So I think it's not recognizing the fsck command, but the fsck command is responding. However, it needs to be executed on an actual mounted file system. So I'm not particularly sure which of the file systems are mounted, which are the mounted file systems on my Kali distribution, because I've just installed this VMware image from the previous week. But nonetheless, let's move on. So so clear. Let's try that. So typing the word clear erases everything on the screen and then gives you a blank screen. For those who are familiar with Windows, if you do a command prompt, this is similar to the CLS command. So clear. I don't think there's a clear command on Windows, but for Linux it's clear. Okay. Next. Uh-huh. CP or CVNCAT command. So let me demonstrate that. So we will be having a course on digital forensics. Now, a particularly important tool with uh, with digital forensics is actually the it's I forgot the correct term, but one thing that you can do in a basic Linux system is to use the cp minus a command. So let me show you how it works. So for example, you have a file, let's say Okay, let me just touch a certain file, arni.txt, and then I display the per, the the I display the properties of arni.txt together with the permissions. Then I want to copy those properties, everything. So you use cp minus a for all. I think that should be minus p. cp minus p per preserve, and then paste for RGP minus grd.txt to rne2.txt. And then if you ls minus lat or rne2.txt, you will see that rne2.txt has exactly the same properties as rne.txt. Same permissions, same group owner, same file owner, same date, same timestamp. So this is useful for preserving timestamps, preserving file properties, for preserving evidence with respect to digital forensics. Okay, I hope that it's clear. And then we move on. CAT command. So everybody's familiar with the CAT command. What you could do with it actually is to concatenate several files together. So let me let me edit the arni.txt file by issuing nano arni.txt, and then typing anything like arni, then saving, control O, enter, control X. Then nano again, arni2.txt.
Hi Jose, sorry to interrupt, but your screen is not visible if you're trying to execute commands, right?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not visible when when I'm okay. Hold on, okay. There, is it visible now?
No, it is not visible yet.
Okay, hold on. There may be hold on.
There are
Jose,
two options to share. Yeah, there are two options to share, right? So just click on the one that is the first one, the screen one.
Okay,
Jose,
hold on.
your time is up. We're gonna move on.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay, so next presenter is Frederick Ugutu.
There,
Frederick, are
I've
you?
stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay.
very much, everyone, for your time. I hope you learned something from the presentation, albeit somewhat uh, very rough.
Thank you.
Okay.
Frederick, are you there? Okay, so I guess we're just gonna move on. Uh, Rupa Gadidala, are you here? Okay, Frederick, you're presenting. You're not audible though.
I'm present.
Okay, just present after Frederick. Frederick, you're not audible.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, now you're
Can you
audible.
can, can you hear me now?
Yeah, continue.
Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Can you see
yes.
my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. This is Frederick Kitanda Ogutu, an intern at Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research. I'm from Kenya. I'm here to present on Linux file system basics. We have to start by saying that, okay, Linux was, welcome to the presentation on the Linux. The Linux operating system was developed by Linux Torvalds in 1991, and it's an open source operating system. Linux operating system has characteristics. First of all, it's an open source, which is very easy to get, and many developers can be able to work on it, make changes, and make it even better. Security-wise, it's known for its robust security features. That's why it's used mostly in server environment and especially where there are a lot of work needed. It is stable and reliable. Linux is flexible because it can be customized to suit on what you want to work on it. Its performance is very efficient, and it works at a very good speed as compared to Windows operating system. Linux operating system is known in the server and enterprise solution. It's dominating the server market. Linux is favored for its robustness and scalability. It's used mostly for cloud computing, especially in Amazon, Google, and all those. It's also applicable in the embedded system and the Internet of Things. Linux is also used in the supercomputers because of its performance and scalability. It's also used in research and in academic environment.
Frederick, your slides are not visible.
Yes.
Your slides are not visible. You're stuck on the first slide.
Oh, it's visible.
Only your first slide is showing. Like your presentation is not visible. Just show it. Just don't start the presentation. Just show it like that.
Yeah. Can you see it? It's visible.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Linux commands are like CP for copying files and directories from one directory to the other. MV for moving files or for renaming. There's RM for deleting directories or files, but should be used accurately because you can end up maybe deleting things that are not supposed to be deleted. Cut to display the content of the file, graph searching certain files, especially maybe when you're doing pen testing or something like that. Mod maybe for doing some changes in the file permission. And for man, you can use it maybe for manual. This command can use it for manual pages. CP for copying, or let's go to another one. LS to list files that are within a certain directory. CD to change from one directory to the other. Let's say you're moving maybe from the root to maybe a certain directory, or maybe the desktop or something like that, or downloads. PWD to print the current directory. If you want to see which directory you are in, type PWD. Then MK dir is for creating a new directory. RM dir for deleting directories, and touch for maybe you want to make create a new file, so like making a new file in Linux. Linux has top level directories with the top level, and it's known as root. Root is like maybe it's like the super user. So we have like binaries that contain essential binary executable commands. Then we have system configurations for storing wide configurations and scripts for various applications. We have home for home directories. I'm competing with time, sorry. Which house the directories for regular users. Variable data, those are different directories within Linux file system, which carries some maybe log files and maybe some runtime information. TMP for temporary files, used for maybe storage
Okay,
of files
Frederick,
and
your time's up.
directories. What? Oh, okay. Thank you so much for sharing with
Thank
me.
you.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh.
G Rupa.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You can add.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so please present. Frederick, you need to stop presenting.
Ma'am, if my presentation is visible.
It is visible.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. My name is Rupa. I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Technology degree in cybersecurity specialization. Additionally, I'm an intern at the Center for Cybersecurity Studies and Research, a unit of Secure Sphere Foundation, Jaipur, Rajasthan. I'm excited to be here today to talk you about the basic of Linux. Okay. In this presentation, we will discuss about introduction to Linux and Linux file system and their types, and file system hierarchy standards, and some other file operations. Whether you are new to Linux or looking to refresh your knowledge, this presentation will provide you with a solid foundation to build upon. Okay, let's dive into our topic, Introduction to Linux. Linux is an open source operating system. Here, what is an operating system? Operating system is nothing but a software that manages computer hardware and provides services for computer programs. And it also acts as intermediary between application, computer hardware, and facilitate communication and resource management. And next point is Linux is a family of Unix-like operating systems, and it is developed by Linus Torvalds in the year 1991. Here, the next point is Linux is technically refers to the kernel itself. Kernel means the kernel is a central component of operating system, and it manages system resources such as CPU, memory, and peripheral devices. And it also provides essential services to high-level software. And kernel is responsible for process management, memory management, and system calls, etc. And Linux is used in variety of computing environments like desktop, laptops, smartphones, cybersecurity, supercomputers, etc. Next, next we will dive into the main characteristic of Linux. These are the main characteristics of Linux. The first one is open source. Open source is nothing but the source code of Linux is available to anyone to study, modify, and distribute. It is one of the main source for development of Linux. And the next one is security. And Linux has strong security features that make it less prone to malware than other operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, etc.
And the next one is stability and reliability. Stability means it is high responsive. Linux is high responsive, and reliability is it is like without errors and low failure rate. Next, flexibility. Linux can be customized to a great extent, like it is suitable for phones, laptops, desktops, etc. And next one is performance. Linux has high stability rate and reliability rate, so the performance rate of Linux is very high compared to other operating systems like Windows. Next, we will dive into another important topic. It is file system. What is a file system? It is a method or structure used by operating system to organize and store data on storage devices like hardwares, SSDs, and other storage media. And it also provides a way for the operating system to manage files, directories, and metadata and associated with them. And the main components of file system are file organization. File organization is nothing but it organizes the data into files. Files can be documents, images, programs, or any other type of data. And next one is directory structure. A file system typically organizes files into directories. Directories can contain files and also other directories, and it allows hierarchical organization of data. And the next one is metadata management. File system stores metadata associated with files and directories. Metadata is nothing but attributes such as size, creation date, modification date, and their permissions. Next one is access control. File system implement access control mechanism to regulate who can read, write, execute, or delete files and directories. And next one is file system operations. File system provide function for creating, opening, reading, writing, closing, and etc. And it helps to allow users and application to interact with the data stored on the storage devices. And the next one is error handling and recovery. It helps to correct errors and verify errors in the file systems. Next one is
Okay.
what are the types of
Okay, Rupa, your time is up. Thank you so much.
thank you.
So, Isaac Academy, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, please present.
Can you see my screen?
Rupa, please stop presenting.
Can you see my screen?
No.
What about now? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. All right. Good evening. My name is Adeyemi Latosin. I'm from Nigeria. So I'll be presenting Linux file system basics. So we need to first know the what is it called? The basics about file system in Linux. So now here I have it like the file system and the directory hierarchy. So we have different file system, and the start for Linux system is a root directory. So let me show you on the link on the what's it called? On the terminal. So CD is for changing directory. So I'm changing to my own directory. Again, I'll be changing again. So this is a root directory in Kali Linux. So, and here we have different type of, we have file metadata, and each file metadata and directory is a file system as associated metadata. Metadata include information such as file name, size, type, ownership, permission, timestamp, and creation, modification, access, and the rest. So we have different type of file system, we have EST3, we have EST4, we have XFX, we have BTRFX, and more. So, and we have the mounting points, in your normal Windows system or your Mac OS. If you want to put any external device, you have some mounting points, which is called the drive. So in Linux, is known as a mounting point. So we have so many different mounting points. And also we have file access permission, where you can read, you can write, you can execute. And we have different type of ownership and the file permission, which is chmod, clown, and the rest. And also we have file system utilities, which are set command utilities for interacting in Linux file system. We have the LX, let me show you, which is the list files. It shows both hidden and all the files in any directory. Let me change directory to, okay, this is the LX. It shows you, okay, on the LX, we have on the home root directory, we have the bin as the first directory, which we have so many directories here. So bin is the first directory in Linux, and where my own user ID is. If you want to look for your user ID, you look for it under the home, so which you store your user files and the rest. So that's the work of LX. Then for the CD, which is used to change directory, which I've done here. So I can change directory to the home. And this is
Madan
the home directory. Sir? Sort. Okay. Then we can create a directory. Let me create a directory under my, I will be creating a directory here. So I will call it
Your screen is
batch. Is that what?
Your screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry, I'm in the terminal. Can you see me? Can you see my screen? Are you there?
No.
Hello?
No, we can't.
That must be the network. Okay. Okay. Can you see it now?
No. I guess we need to kick Madan Raj out.
All right, no problem. Okay, what about now? Hello?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. So as I was saying about making a directory, so you can make a directory by mkdir then dot maybe txt under my user. So I've created it. Let's LX. It shows.
Isaac, your commands are not visible. Actually, your time is over. Just submit a presentation and we'll go through it.
Okay, no problem then.
Okay. So, Mohammed Zafar, you're the last presenter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please present.
So my screen is visible, huh?
Yes, it is visible.
So, good evening, guys. My name is Mohammad Zafar. I'll start presenting Linux file system. So, firstly, I'll told about Linux. Linux is open source and lightweighted operating system. It is a secure comparison of Windows OS. So, let's start Linux file system. In the file system, I will cover what is a file system and type of file system, and important directories like root and mounting file system and basic file operations. So file system like OS store and manage data and disk or partition using a structure. And in Linux, everything is a file. So example that pad 16, pad 32, NTFS, and extend 2, extend 3, and XFS. So type of file system. There is two type of file system: network file system and disk file system. In a network file system, storing file on network, it is a distributed file system that allow user to access file and directory located on remote computers. And SMB is a server message block. It is used for client and server communication. That is used to shared access file directories, printer, and ports, and solve resources on network. Disk file system, it will be available in physical device like hard drive. Yeah, and extend 2 and extend 3, pad 32 and NTFS. Extend 2 is can accommodate file as large as 2 GB to 2 GB, and directory is accommodate 2 TB, and extend 3 is behave like extend 2 is same, but here is a metadata written to in a journal on disk. It is used to modify the file. I mean, actual use of modify the file. And the FAT is a file allocation table. Is file system develop a personal computer. In a file, in a FAT 16, storage will be used 2 GB to 16 GB, and FAT 32 memory allocate 4 GB to 32 GB. NTFS is a anti-file system arrived in Windows NT in 1993, but also support in Windows 2000 and Windows XP, Windows 7, 8, and 10. So come to the root directories. Is a important directories in a Linux system. Bin directories contain all type of binaries file, and boot directories contain important file need while booting, like kernel and bootloader, like group. And dev is representing hardware file are kept in dev directory. etc directory store system-wide configuration like password, shadow, and host. It's a extension of .conf. And home directory, all users, yeah, in a home directory, all users are stored in a home directory. I mean, home directory contain all users detail. And lib directory contain kernel library needed to boot the system and run. And mount MNT directory, it is used for or mount external file, and OPT is a optional directory. It is used in this directory software package installed by individual users, and USR. It is this directory is used to read only directory that store file that run required to be boot system, and TAM file. TAM, I mean, sorry, not a file. I mean, TAM directory is hold temporary file, and where directory is stored all our type of system logs. Uh,
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Your time is up.
Okay.
So now I'll hand over the presentations to Ayush. Ayush, please take over.
Yes, I'm here. Just to confirm, is there anyone remaining? Please raise your hand. You can raise your hand within the Microsoft team. No need to physically raise your hand. Mohammed Safar, I think you should unraise your hand. You have already finished your presentation. So I believe there is no one remaining. Thank you all the speakers, participants who presented their presentation, and all the interns who viewed their respective presentations. As mentioned by the admin, there will be some special something like goodies from the CFCS to our side. Let's see who gets the goodies. I don't see any hand raised, so we would proceed with the conclusion of this session. Thank you everyone, presenter and the watchers, spectators. This is one of the necessary skill that is required by you in your pathway to your future job positions, whatever junior position you will be in. For meetings respective, you need to understand how to present, how to manage your time, how to complete your presentation within the time frame you have been given. This is a necessary skill. Okay, so we would conclude here. Thank you everyone for your participation.
Okay, thank you everyone. You may leave.